It's not what it looks like. Yo guys, what is up? I'm the Original Gamer, and today I'm going to be doing a top 10 things you may or may not have known about me, the Original Gamer. So like I said in the title, these are things you may or may not know about me. Now, if you happen to know any one of these things that I'm about to tell you, just let me know down in the comments below which numbers you knew and which ones you didn't. Now, starting off with number 1. Alright, so the first one on the list is my very first console. My very first console was the GameCube. I grew up playing video games. I was born with a controller in my hand. The GameCube was my very first console, and I really do love the GameCube. And the very first game I beat, in fact, was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube. And I have so many hours marked on that game. If the GameCube had a timer on how long you played each game, that game would have well over 1,000 hours, because I put so much time into that game. Now, even though the GameCube was my very first console, my favorite console has to be the Sega Dreamcast. If some of you guys don't know what that is, it is a Sega console that came out in about 1999, and it had some of the greatest Sonic the Hedgehog games on it, like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and I completely fell in love with those games. Those games are the reason why I love Sonic the Hedgehog to this day. As you can see in this picture right here, I have a GameCube controller in my hand. This is when I was about like maybe about like 4 or 5 or 6. I don't know how old I was in this picture, but my parents took this picture of me a long time ago when I was little, and I was holding a GameCube controller in my hand. And those are some of the earliest pictures that my parents have of me playing video games. Now in this picture, I am holding the original DS, you know, the original rectangular white DS, except this one was pink. This one was pink. It was my mom's, but as you guys can see, I've had a long history with video game consoles, and it's really cool looking back at these old pictures of me with these old consoles, and I'm just like, wow, I still have that. Except I don't have the DS and GameCube anymore. I sold them. Number 2. Okay, so contrary to common belief, I was actually a PlayStation hater. Yes, I know, judge me all you want, but I really did love the Xbox 360. You have to admit, the Xbox 360 had some of the greatest games ever. For example, BattleBlock Deer and even Halo Reach, which is one of my favorite Halo games ever. I hated PlayStation. I was like the way I am, guys, now, how I don't like Xbox was the way I was back then with PlayStation. I was all for Xbox. I grew up playing the original Xbox, and I moved on to the Xbox 360, and when PlayStation 3 came out, I wanted nothing to do with that console. I disliked it so much. I don't know why, I just disliked it. But when the PS4 came out, that console changed my mind. I play my PS4 every day, almost every day, but my Xbox One just sits on the shelf collecting dust. Sorry, Xbox. Number 3. Now, I know a lot of you guys are always telling me that I'm a really good artist, and you know, that means a lot to me because I have been drawing since I was about 6 years old, and when I drew when I was little, all I would draw were little potato people. And when I say potato people, I literally just mean an oval with an eyes, mouth, arms, and legs. Now, I was totally unaware of the whole trial and error thing in art, so whenever I drew something that I didn't like, I just crumpled the paper and threw it away. But when I was about maybe 8 years old, my dad taught me this new method of drawing, and it's called sketching. And basically, if you guys don't know what that is, which I'm sure all of you guys know what that is, but just in case you don't, it is basically a technique where you grab your pencil and just lightly scratch on the paper your lines. That's basically all it is. Instead of just one solid hard line, it's just light sketching so it's easier to erase. Now this drawing is the very first drawing that I learned sketching on. My dad drew this Sonic the Hedgehog that you guys see here. This was from Sonic 06. So this is around 2006. So I was 6 years old when I learned this sketching method. My dad taught me how to draw with sketching. And then after that, in kindergarten, I drew this picture. So this is my very first Sonic the Hedgehog drawing using the sketching method. And you know, I have to say, for being in kindergarten, I do think this is pretty good. I like this picture a lot. I keep it in perfect condition, and I really do like it a lot. Now this drawing, on the other hand, this was in kindergarten also. I was in kindergarten, and we were introducing ourselves, and we had to draw a portrait. So what I did is I looked into a mirror and I drew myself. You know, I still remember those shoes that I was wearing that day. They were like blue etnies. Etnies, I think that's how you pronounce it. Etnies? Etni, I don't know how you pronounce it, but they were blue and gray etnies. And I love those shoes to death. Number 4. Now when you were little, you know how you had that habit of, you know, walking around carrying your little blanket or your little comfort item of your choice. My comfort item was my thumb. Okay, so when I was little, I had a bad habit of sucking my thumb. And this habit lasted longer than it should have. It lasted till I was about, you know, maybe 10 years old. Yes, I know. Yeah, that's pretty bad. From sucking my thumb for that long, I had a scar on my thumb right here. I still have the scar. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have a scar on my thumb. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like a lighter area right there. That's the scar from when I sucked my thumb a lot as a child. I had like a really bad habit. Like I could not stop it no matter what. Like I could not stop. It was just that bad. Number 5. Okay, my middle name. A lot of people are always wondering what my middle name is. My middle name is Lonzo, like the basketball player Lonzo Ball. But I was not named after Lonzo Ball. I was actually named after my great grandpa. His name was Alonzo, but my parents just liked the name Lonzo. So they named me Lonzo after my great grandfather. So that's pretty cool. Number 6. Now I've lived in many different places around Texas. I was born in El Paso, Texas, right on the corner of the panhandle of Texas, if that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Who knows what it's called? But I was born in El Paso, and I lived there for about maybe... I know I moved out of El Paso in 3rd grade, so that was probably when I was like maybe 10 years old? 10 years old? Yeah, around 10 years old. So I moved out of El Paso when I was 10 years old, and we moved to a small town called Marfa, and the population there in Marfa had about 2,000 people. So it was a really small town, and it was a really nice town. I only lived there for about 3 months, then we moved back to El Paso, and I stayed there back in El Paso till the end of 7th grade. So I was maybe 12 or so, 12 or 14, I don't know how old I was in these grades. But once after I moved back to El Paso, after I spent that time there all the way up to 7th grade, we moved to Odessa, Texas, which is where I started my YouTube channel about like 2 years back. That's where I started my YouTube channel 2 years back, was in Odessa. We lived there for a total of 3 years. 3 whole years. It doesn't feel that long. It doesn't feel like that long ago. Honestly, it feels like just last month. I was back in El Paso hanging out with all my friends in 7th grade. But we were in Odessa for 3 whole years, and now we are currently in Corpus Christi, and this is marking, what, my 5th month living here? And you know, I really do like it here a lot. I really do love Corpus Christi. The weather may be humid and, you know, raining all the time, but you know what? That's my weather. I love the rain. Number 7. So I built my very first computer in the 6th grade. I was in elementary school, and my parents were telling me to save up money for a computer. And you know what? I've wanted my own computer for the longest time. I wanted to get Minecraft. I was at that age where I was one of those little kids that was always talking about Minecraft. You know what? I still do, but you know what? I'm not ashamed. But I saved up about $200 and I bought my own computer. When I got that computer in, I built it all by myself with the help of instructions and minor help from my parents. I tried to see how good I could do it by myself, but I did it and it worked perfectly. I loved my very first PC, and in fact, I use it to this day. It's actually right here. You guys can't see it. That's on the shop, but it's right here. I'll show you guys. It's a computer I've had since 6th grade, and I am currently a junior in high school. So that's crazy. It's still alive and kicking. I use it all the time still, and it's freaking dope. Number 8. Now, I've said this before in some previous videos, but just in case you guys don't already know, my aunt is an actress. My aunt's name is Araceli Valdez, and she is in a lot of movies. She was in From Dusk Till Dawn, Machete, and even Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was also in the very popular soap opera All My Children. So anytime we go visit her, whenever we go somewhere, people are always recognizing her, and I actually think that's really cool because she's on television and people see her and they're like, oh hey, that's Araceli. And it's cool because they always approach her and they're all really cool and stuff. It's cool seeing her interacting with people that, like random people that she doesn't know, but they know her. it's just it's really cool experiencing that. Number 9. Now guys, okay, don't tell anyone about this, but I got into E3 Underage. Okay, so last year guys, I went to E3 2016, and there is an age requirement to get into E3, and that age requirement is 18 years old. Guess how old I am? 16. Freaking awesome. Now you had to be 18 or older to enter E3, or else you would have been denied access, but you know what? I found my own way to get a badge. Experiencing E3 for myself was a really awesome experience because I'm always being told how awesome it is by my parents, and when I finally got to go, I got to wait 3 hours just to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild before release, and you know what? That was actually pretty awesome. I also got to play the Switch before release, so that was also really awesome. I really enjoyed E3, and I'm really looking forward to future events like E3. Fun fact, I've actually been to PAX South last year, and I'm actually going this upcoming year. So if you guys want to visit me, then go to PAX South, my dudes. San Antonio, be there. Number 10. Okay, so you know how everybody, they have their own YouTuber that they prefer. Like for example, nowadays a lot of people watch PewDiePie or Jacksepticeye or Markiplier. But when I was little, I didn't like any of them. Who I really liked was a man named Tobuscus. Now when I was little, I was a die-hard fan for Tobuscus, and I watched every single one of his videos. I memorized every single one of his music video songs. Like I memorized them by heart. Like that's how bad I was about Tobuscus. Like especially the Minotaur one. The Minotaur one, I don't know if any of you guys ever heard that one. I remembered that song like clearly. I could sing it all right now. The Sideburns song. I loved the Sideburns song when I was little.
My sideburns, look at my sideburns, but don't touch my sideburns. Why would you do that?
That I freaking loved that song. Like I listened to that song a lot when I was little. It was really bad. But you know what? When I was little, Tobuscus, you know, I think he's really also what made me want to do YouTube for the longest time, because even when I was little, I started my own YouTube channel. And I wasn't called The Original Gamer, I was just called Supersonic Tito, and I uploaded a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Let's Plays, and they were really cringy. I sounded like a little kid, but I mean, he's really what made me want to do YouTube. And it's funny because like I would always watch his Minecraft Let's Plays, and whenever I'd play Minecraft, I'd build his houses. I'd build the houses he had in Minecraft, in my Minecraft world, and I would always pretend that I was him. I would always be like,
hello once again, audience.
And stuff like that. Doing stuff like that. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Tobuscus or watched him, but he was my life as a child. And a few years back, my parents ran into him at E3. They ran into me at E3 one year, and he was able to record a shout out video for me and my 2 brothers. And here it is. I'll just let it play right now, guys.
Benji, Tito, and Zion, I just want to say, I love you so much. Come here! Oh! I'm gonna go eat. You take care of yourself. Take care of these 2. Okay?
And you know what? When I was little, I thought that was the freaking awesomest thing ever. When I first saw that video, I was like, oh my gosh! I was so excited. I was little. You could just imagine how excited I was. I was like 10 years old, seeing the YouTuber I looked up to the most, giving a shout out to me. And my brothers, you guys don't understand that feeling. It was so cool. It was so awesome. And that's just a really awesome memory I have with Tobuscus to this day. But anyways guys, that is it for this top 10 list. Let me know which facts you did know and which facts you did not know down in the comment section below. Also guys, don't forget to like this video, share this with some of your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on those notifications so you'll get notified whenever I upload. Once again, I'm The Original Gamer, and I will see you all next time. Peace!